Question 6, that's about graph transformations. We've got a graph y equals f of x. It has a maximum point here, minimum point here. On separate diagrams, sketch the curve with the equation y equals f of x plus 3 and y equals 2f of x. I've got this on a little bit more room here. The last part of the question we'll look back in a minute. When you're doing graph transformations, whenever you're going into the brackets and doing something like plussing or multiplying, anything like that, subtracting, it's always to do with the x direction that changes, and it's also the opposite to what you think. So this is a translation in the x direction. Because it's plus 3, then we go in the opposite direction, so we go backwards. So this graph will move along 3 units backwards. So we can do that quite quickly here for part A. Try and imagine this graph moving along 3 units this way. So this bit at the origin would now be here at -3. This bit up here, it's already at -2, so when we move it back, it would be -5. Here. It would still be the same height. It hasn't gone up or down. So it would go up here and up here. This bit's here, the origin, that's here now. And then this minimum point, which was 3, -5, it's going to go back 3, so it's going to be right on the y-axis here. So this bit's here. It's still going to be at -5, but it'll be 3 backwards. So this one here is this one, and it's been moved along 3 places to the left. A multiplication one for part B. Terrible, huh? This one, it hasn't gone into the bracket. It's just multiplying the function by 2. That affects the y distance, and it does what you would think. The y distance gets multiplied by 2. It's not doing the opposite this time because it's not inside the bracket. So this original function is going to get multiplied by 2 along the y distance, just the y coordinates. So the x1 will still be at -2, but it will go up to 6 this time. This will be -2, 6. It will still cross the x-axis at the same place because the y value here is 0, and timesing that by 2 still leaves it at 0, so it will still cross at the same place. It just goes really stretched up here. Still crosses at 0 because the y distance is 0, the y coordinate, and timesing that by anything still leaves it at 0. It's just this that's changed. And this, the height of this is -5 down, so it will go to -10. It will still be at 3 though. Oops. Get out of my way. So it'll be here, and it'll still cross in the same place. It'll just be stretched along the y-axis. And then we double check we've answered the question. On separate diagrams, sketch the curves with equations y equals f of x plus 3 and y equals 2f of x. On each diagram, show clearly the coordinates of the maximum and the minimum points, which we've done there. So that's A and B done. Part C, if we go back, it's here. It says the graph of y equals f of x plus a. Remember, this is f of x. So f of x plus a has a minimum point at 3, 0, which is here, where a is a constant. Write down the value of a. It's just 1 mark, so it must be straightforward. It's saying it has a minimum at this point here. So if this graph is going to be translated so that the minimum ends up here, we have to move it up 3 places. So along the y direction, +3. So f of x plus 3. So a must be 3 because we've had to move the graph 3 places up. That's all you need to do for that 1 mark. So 3 marks each for the graphs, 1 mark for spotting that thing there, 7 marks.